What if I told you real-life superpowers exist? I'm talking about real abilities that turn some people into something straight out of a superhero movie. From feeling zero pain to having unbreakable bones, these powers are as real as that half-eaten sandwich in your fridge that you keep telling yourself you'll finish. Think about it. While most of us struggle to remember where we left our phones. Hint, you're probably holding it right now. There are people who can recall every single day of their lives in extreme detail. And while we whine about winter with 4 layers of sweaters, there are individuals who can sit in a tub of ice for hours without even shivering. If you think that's wild, just wait until we get to the last one. It's pretty mind-blowing. Imagine being able to see without using your eyes. No, not in a third-eye, mystical guru kind of way. I mean literally navigating the world using sound waves like a dolphin or a bat. Some people are born blind, but that doesn't stop them from riding bikes, hiking mountains, and exploring cities without a guide. Their secret? Clicking their tongue. Yep, by making sharp clicking sounds with their mouth, they send out sound waves, which bounce off objects and return to their ears. Their brain then processes the echoes, creating a mental map of their surroundings, just like sonar. Now, before you start clicking your tongue at everything in your room, let's put this into perspective. The average person relies on 80% of their sensory input through vision. People with echolocation, they've trained their ears to work like radar. Scientists have even found that their brains light up in the visual cortex, the same part used for sight. It's basically nature's way of saying, oh, you don't have working eyes? No problem. We'll just rewire your brain to be a superhero. And here's where it gets even crazier. Studies suggest that anyone can train themselves to echolocate. It just takes a few months of practice, patience, and getting over the fact that people will definitely stare at you in the grocery store while you click your way to the cereal aisle. Now, while some people have sonar-like senses, others have something even more shocking: the ability to survive an extreme cold. No, I'm not talking about that one friend who insists it's not that bad while wearing shorts in a snowstorm. I mean real, scientifically proven resistance to freezing temperatures, like a human polar bear. Meanwhile, most of us get cold just standing in front of the fridge for too long. Here's the plot twist. Some people can actually train themselves to cope with the cold. Through a mix of breathing techniques, meditation, and sheer mind control, they can teach their body to regulate its core temperature, boost oxygen levels, and even suppress their immune response. Basically, they can hack their own biology in a way that seems straight out of a sci-fi movie. Now, before you start planning your shirtless Arctic vacation, let's be clear. Most people would get frostbite in minutes. But incredibly, other individuals have been able to train themselves using these techniques. Studies show that with the right breathing exercises, the human body can adapt to extreme environments far better than we ever thought possible. So while the rest of us are layering up like burritos at the first sign of winter, some people are out here swimming in frozen lakes for fun. Superpower? Science? Or just someone who really hates wearing jackets? Either way, if you ever find yourself stranded in the Arctic, maybe practice your breathing first. Now, while some people are out here swimming in glacier-cold water for fun, others have a different kind of power. One that doesn't just change their body, but their mind. Imagine never forgetting anything. Ever. Every face, every conversation, every embarrassing moment from middle school? Locked in your brain forever. This is the reality for people with hyperthymesia, a condition so rare that only about 60 people worldwide are known to have it. While most of us struggle to remember what we ate for breakfast, these individuals can recall every single day of their lives in perfect detail, like a mental time machine. They can tell you what happened on March 8, 2015, and will tell you exactly what they were doing, what the weather was like, and probably what song was playing on the radio. Now, this might sound like the ultimate superpower, but imagine never being able to forget painful memories. Every embarrassing moment, every heartbreak, every terrible haircut decision, stuck in your brain like an unskippable ad. While hyperthymesia gives people unmatched recall, it also means they experience memories more vividly, almost as if they're reliving them. So while you might wish for a super memory to ace your exams, just remember, forgetting things is sometimes a blessing. And if you're worried about forgetting where you put your keys, well, there's always the classic pat-down panic dance. Let's talk about the next real-life superpower, pain-proof warriors. So while some people remember everything, others have a power that's arguably even wilder. They feel nothing. And no, I'm not talking about that one friend who never texts back. I mean people who are literally incapable of feeling pain. It's called congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP, and for those who have it, injuries that would leave most of us crying on the floor barely even register. Imagine stubbing your toe and just moving on with your life, no hopping around, no cursing at the furniture, just meh. So some people can bite their tongue, scrape their knee, or break a bone and feel nothing. Sounds like a dream, right? Except, not really. Pain exists for a reason. It's the body's built-in alarm system, the "Hey genius, maybe don't touch that lava" warning. People with CIP don't get those alerts, which means they have to constantly check themselves for injuries. Something as small as an infected cut or a sprained ankle could go unnoticed for days, leading to serious problems. And just because they don't feel pain doesn't mean they're invincible. Their bodies still take damage, they just don't react to it. It's like driving a car without a fuel gauge. You might be running on empty, but you'd never know until the engine dies. So, while the rest of us are dramatically complaining about paper cuts, these people are out here casually breaking bones without even realizing it. But if you think feeling no pain is impressive, wait until you hear about the people with unbreakable bones. So while some people can't feel pain, others don't even need to worry about it, because their bones are practically unbreakable. No, not in a drink milk, build strong bones kind of way. I'm talking about scientifically reinforced skeletons that can withstand massive impact without so much as a crack. The secret? A rare genetic mutation in the LRP5 gene, which causes bones to be denser, stronger, and almost impossible to break. Most people have bones that can snap under about 25 pounds of pressure per square inch, but for these individuals, their bones are up to 8 times denser. They're walking, talking human tanks. Imagine falling down the stairs and just standing back up like, yeah, that was fun. Now, before you start Googling how to get this mutation, here's the catch. Denser bones aren't always a good thing. Because their skeletons are so packed with extra minerals, some people with this mutation struggle with joint stiffness or mobility issues. Still, compared to the rest of us who can twist an ankle just by stepping off a curb, these people are basically built like superheroes. But if you think indestructible bones are cool, wait until you meet the real-life humans who can taste colors, hear music and shapes, and even feel other people's emotions. Sounds impossible? Just wait. So while some people can't break their bones, others don't just see the world, they taste it, hear it, and even feel it in colors. No, this isn't some trippy sci-fi experiment. This is a real neurological phenomenon called synesthesia, and it turns everyday senses into a wild, cross-wired experience. Imagine biting into a strawberry and tasting the color blue, or listening to music and seeing swirls of color dance through the air. Sounds like something out of a dream, right? Well, for people with synesthesia, this is just Tuesday. If someone walks into the room feeling angry, some people get a bitter taste in their mouth. Happiness? It's sweet like candy. Imagine going to a family gathering and literally tasting the stress in the air. Thanksgiving must be deliciously awkward. Then there's Daniel Tammet, a mathematical genius who sees numbers as shapes, textures, and colors. He once recited 22,514 digits of pi from memory because, to him, the numbers weren't just numbers. They were a moving, colorful landscape in his mind. Scientists believe synesthesia happens when brain regions that normally work separately become cross-connected, blending senses together. Some studies even suggest that many of us may have mild synesthesia without realizing it. Ever associate certain numbers with colors? Or think of Wednesday as feeling different from Friday? Yeah, your brain might be throwing in a little extra spice. So while most of us are just trying to remember why we walked into a room, synesthetes are out here seeing symphonies and tasting emotions. So are all these people real-life superheroes? Absolutely. Capes? Optional. But now it's your turn. If you could pick one of these superpowers, which would it be? Write it in the comments. I'm betting never feeling pain is going to be a popular choice, until people realize that means never knowing if they've accidentally walked into a cactus. And hey, if you thought these abilities were wild, just wait until you see what's next. In the next video, we're talking about what to say in awkward, funny, or downright weird social situations. Click here to watch, and let's level up your social superpowers next.